Happy New Year, everyone. May 2022 be your best reading year yet, your best year yet, and I hope you all the best. I hope you started the year in a very good way and that it will really be a wonderful year. I am so excited to start this new year, and to get us started off, I'm going to start with my January TBR. It's January, it's 2022. Let's go. Hello lovely book dragons, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Joana and I love to talk about books on this channel, specifically fantasy and now also romance books. But today I'm here to share with you my January 2022 TBR. I kind of fell off the bandwagon with Vlogmas because I needed to take time off. I needed to kind of rethink my priorities for my channel, for my life, for everything. And I'm so excited. I have a lot of videos coming your way in 2022. My goals video is coming because I did want to talk about that, because I wanted you to know what to expect on this channel in the future. But today I thought, what better way to start us off than to share with you what I plan to read in the month of January, which will kind of already give you an inkling of what my goals are going to be in the new year. So let's go. To start us off, I want to talk about the Cosmere Unbounded book club pick of the month, and that is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I am co-hosting a readathon, or read-along more likely, called the Cosmere Unbounded Read-Along, where we read all of Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere books. In 2021, we focused on Mistborn. Spoiler alert, I still have to finish Mistborn Era 2. Whoops, I failed at my own read-along, but in January, we're reading Warbreaker, and for me, this is a reread, so I'm most likely going to be audiobooking this one. I will leave the video of Cosmere Unbounded announcement up here, so that you can go check out the schedule and everything that I mentioned in that video. There's also a Discord, so I will leave that linked in the description of this video if you want to join us in the Discord server. So Warbreaker, like I said, is a reread for me. In this book we follow two princesses, and one of them is kind of prepared to marry a god king, and her father has kind of really trained her in the political versing of the land and all of those things. But when the day comes to send the princess off to marry this god king, the father says, I cannot let you go. I love this daughter of mine too much. I'm going to send my other daughter, who has lived a carefree life doing whatever the heck she wanted this whole time, and she's the one that goes to marry the god king. That's kind of the premise of this book. I read this one in 2020 over Christmas time, I think it was, and I really loved it. It wasn't my favorite in the beginning, but it really grew on me, and I really like the characters in the end. So I'm very excited to reread this book and to talk about it with some of my co-hosts and with you guys. So if you want to read Warbreaker, this is your cue to do it. Next up, I am planning on rereading for the third time to finally finish off the series that's been one of my longest ongoing series ever, and that is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor.
Oh no! The dust jacket is ripped.
I first read this one years ago, basically when the second book was out. So in 2012. So I think I first read this one 10 years ago or something like that. And I have reread it since to continue on, and I still haven't. So this is going to be my third reread and finally finish out the series. And what pushed me to put this on my January TBR is my friend Vish over at Books with V channel, of course, linked down below. She co-hosts a series readathon on her channel all the time. So she picks a trilogy and then another trilogy, and she always picks a guest host. And she asked me if I wanted to co-host the Daughter Smoke and Bone read-along, and I said yes, absolutely. This will give me the opportunity that I've been looking for to finally finish out the series. In this book we follow our main character Karou, and she lives in Prague if I'm not mistaken. And so I'll read you the synopsis because this book's so beautiful. Around the world, black handprints are appearing on doorways, scorched there by winged strangers who have crept through a slit in the sky. In a dark and dusty shop, a devil's supply of human teeth grows dangerously low. And in the tangled lanes of Prague, a young art student is about to be caught up in a brutal otherworldly war. That's kind of like the picture of this book, and I love it so much. I'm so excited to reread this and finally reread the second book and finish out the trilogy. So if you want to join us, I will leave Vish's channel down below. She also has a Discord server, and that is where we'll be talking about it, and then we'll have a live show at the end of the month to talk about this book. So, very excited. Thank you, Vish, for forcing me to finish this series because it's been a long time coming. And my only other very strong commitment that I've made is another buddy read, and this time with one of my good friends, Jolene, or Jolene Reads. I will, of course, also leave her channel link down below, you know the drill. Jolene is someone that I've been following for a while now, and we talk a little bit here, a little bit there, but in 2022 we've decided that we want to buddy read, and we want to solidify our friendship with books by finally buddy reading something. And we picked, of course, one of the big books on our TBR, Master of Sorrows by Justine T. Call. This book I first heard about on Stephanie over at Stephanie's Book First channel, and she's also the one who got me this for my birthday, I think it was. And this is a huge book. And I think this is a villain origin story, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard amazing things from her about this book, but my friend Ali over at Kissy Reads, I will leave her review of this book linked down below because I feel like she liked this book, but she didn't love it. And her review was really well balanced and really, I don't know, like I just really liked how she laid out the point of this book, and it kind of adjusted my expectations going into this read. And I'm very excited because I do love villain origin stories. I'm very excited to read this book and to see what it's all about. It is quite a big book, but I mean, I love big books, I love fantasy, and this book is so shiny, so beautiful. And if I really like this one, then I can pick up book 2 because that one is already out. And that's what Jolene and I are deciding on doing. If we like this one enough, we will continue on together by reading the series. I'm so excited to get to it, and I hope that I love it because it sounds something that's like right up my alley. So those 3 are my big commitment reads. Now, I have a few other books on my TBR, and I'm gonna show them to you. They are my pile of possibilities. I'm gonna start with 2 that could be read-alongs, and then some for a readathon that I'm participating in. So I'm gonna start with those. So my friend Sam over at Griff Reads, I love her channel. I will leave it linked down below. She has decided to host her first readathon. And of course, it was a readathon that I wanted to participate in because of the topic, but also because I want to support her channel. And that is the Goodreads Choice Readathon. Now, you don't have to read books that were in the 2021 Goodreads Choice. You just have to pick books to fulfill the prompts that have at some point been nominees in the Goodreads Choice Awards. Let me tell you, the opportunities are almost endless. There's so many books and in so many different genres. And I decided to pick stuff that I already have on my shelf that I've been wanting to get to. And this is a readathon that goes from the 1st of January to the 14th of January. So a 2-week readathon to read 5 books. If you don't want to read 5 books, you can double up on prompts. I've made sure that that is true. And so you can double up, which I will definitely do if I cannot read all of these. But I did pick 5 books. So I will share those books with you now. The first book is a book that I own on my Kindle, and that is The Push by Ashley or Drain or whatever. I'll leave the book here. This one I'm picking for outside of my comfort zone. This is like a psychological thriller about a mother and about not wanting to be a mother but already having kids. I have heard so many rave reviews about this book, and it was so interesting to me, and it was on sale on Kindle, and I decided, let me get this. And then I saw that it was nominated in 2021 for an award, and I said, perfect, this is the perfect push to read. Ha! Get it? The perfect push to read this book. Wow, okay, that was corny, but I'm leaving it in. You know what? I'm leaving it in. Yeah, so I've been wanting to read it, and this is the perfect opportunity to read this, and I'm very excited. I'm very nervous because it definitely is outside of my comfort zone. Psychological thrillers are not at all what I read, but I'm very excited to read this and to see what I think about it. The next book that I'm reading is also on my Kindle, and that was a poll pick. So I picked 4 romances that I was interested in reading and that I owned on my Kindle. And you guys unanimously 100% voted on my Instagram for The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This book took Book Talk, BookTube, Book Everything. Every person who slightly reads romance read this, has loved this. This is my friend Sophia's, like, one of her favorite books. Like, I've been getting so many people telling me, read The Love Hypothesis, read The Love Hypothesis. So I will be reading The Love Hypothesis for this prompt. This one could definitely double up on other prompts, but I'm using it for this one because you guys voted for it, and I'm so excited. I've already started, I've read the prologue and chapter 1, and I'm really liking it. All the rest are physical books that I have here. So the first one is a 5-star prediction. I could use The Love Hypothesis for this because I think I will really love that one, but I am going to be using Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas for this. This is a long story. This is a series that got me into fantasy. I have yet to finish it, like almost 10 years later, so I decided to put Tower of Dawn on my TBR because I want to finish Throne of Glass series this year. Smoke and Bone, Throne of Glass, 2 of my longest ongoing series, like, that I've been reading for years now. I want to read this. I want to finish this off. I need to do this. And so Tower of Dawn it is. It is on my TBR. This one could count for multiple different things as well. So this one is going to be a top priority for me. It is chunky. I am not very excited for this one because this one doesn't follow our main storyline. This one runs parallel to the previous book, Empire of Storms. But I have heard from some people that this one is amazing. So we'll see. I do think it's going to be a 5-star just because it is Throne of Glass. I love this series. I love Sarah J. Maas. And I think that if I fall in the camp of those people who were blown away by this book, this will be a 5 stars. So I'm excited to get to this one. Next up, we have pick a, what was it? Like a cover pick or something like that. And so just a cover you think is beautiful. And for this, I'm going to read a 2021 release that I have been meaning to get to for so long and haven't yet. And that is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one could also be a 5-star prediction book because I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've loved so many of her books. Almost every single book I've read has gotten either 4 or 5 stars. And this one Came out last year. I haven't gotten around to it yet. This cover is stunning. The UK cover is also stunning. So here it is. Taylor Jenkins Reid, Malibu Rising. This is all I know about. This is like, it's a party and you go back in time, like at the party that like the house burns down or something like that. And then you see before the party how we get to that disaster. That's all I know. It's set in August 1983. So I'm so excited for this. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid and I'm so excited to read this one. And then the final prompt is representation. So pick a book with any type of representation in it. And from that I picked another 2021 release that I've been meaning to get to. And then I got it for Christmas. Spoiler alert for my Christmas book haul, but that is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I read, House on the Cerulean Sea in 2020 and loved it. It made it onto my favorites of the year, and so I was just so excited to read this. And thank you, Sophia, for sending this my way, this beautiful Waterstones edition, signed edition. So excited. And I'm gonna be reading this. This is about a man who dies, and then let me read you the pitch. Welcome to Sharon's Crossings. The tea is hot, the scones are fresh, and the dead are just passing through. When a reaper comes to collect Wallace from his own sparsely attended funeral, Wallace is outraged. But he begins to suspect she's right, and he is in fact dead. Then when Hugo, owner of a most peculiar tea shop, promises to help him cross over, Wallace reluctantly accepts the truth. Yet even in death, he refuses to abandon his life, even though he spent all of it working. But as Wallace drinks tea with Hugo and walks to his customers, he wonders if he'd been missing something. The feeling grows as it... This already... Okay, I'm gonna stop there because this sounds amazing. This one could count for cover pick, for 5-star prediction. This one could count for so many things because I've been meaning to get to this one for so long. I'm so excited for this. It sounds right up my alley. I think I'm gonna love this one so much. And Sophia said that whereas The House in the Cerulean Sea is more like a warm hug of a book, this one is super melancholy, and I love melancholy books. I love melancholy books, so here we go. So those are the books that if I read all of those books, I will be the happiest camper on earth. Like I will just be like, yes, succeeded in January. I do have a few more books that are maybe potentials. We'll see where the wind takes us kind of a thing. And let me show those to you. One of them is another series continuation. And if I don't get to this in January, I'll try and make it a priority for February. We'll see. But that is The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden. I want to read this because Evie is hosting a read along for this. And I've started the series at the beginning of 2021. And I haven't continued yet because these books are meant to be read in the winter. And so I want to read it this winter, but I don't know if I'll get to it in January still. It is short. These read fast, but I'm not sure. However, I really do want to join Evie for her read along. So worst case, I would read this one in February and then read the last one in February as well. I don't know, but it's here. If I get to it, I get to it. If not, I will put it for next month. But I do want to finish this series out. I liked the first book. The more I sit with it, the more I like it. I give it 3 stars when I first read it, but I think it's more like a 4 stars because I keep on thinking about that book. But I do think that this one will definitely be, I will like this one more than I like the first one. That is a feeling that I have. So yeah, this one is like set in Russian inspired, or is it even Russia? I think it's Russia. And then you have all those like folklores and fairy tales, and it's just so beautiful. So yeah, I hope to get to this one as well. Another one that I want to get to, but this one I really don't know if I will, is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. My friend Sophia is hosting a read along for this one on her Discord, but I have this one planned for a video series that I'm doing. And that requires reading other books. And so I don't know if I will get to this one because I don't have time to read those other books at the same time as reading this. So I don't know about this one. I would like to get to this one, but I highly doubt that this one will make the cut. I lied, there's still 2 more books. Another one that I want to get to is Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuzniar. I started this one on a vlog on this channel, just the first chapter to see what I thought. And this one is set at Christmas, so it's peak winter. So I hope to get this one in January because then otherwise I have to wait until December, which I don't want to because it's so pretty and it's so beautiful and it's a Nutcracker retelling, and I kind of want to read that now while it's still wintry and still in that vibe. So I hope to get to this one. It's very short, so I should be able to. I hope so. I just keep on hoping, guys. The last book that I hope to get to. This will be an audiobook, but I hope to get to The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan, the second book in the Wheel of Time. You don't know this because I haven't done a wrap-up since July. Sorry about that. But I did read The Eye of the World in December and loved it. I read it in a week, which for someone who was in an epic fantasy slump was it was an accomplishment. So I really hope to get to The Great Hunt. I'm super excited to see where this goes. It was a show. I wasn't gonna read them. I really wasn't gonna read them. Like I wanted to read them for a while. That's why I owned the first 7. And then the more time went on, the more I heard about it. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna read The Wheel of Time, to be honest. I'm just gonna watch the show. And then I was at episode 7, so there was 1 episode left, and I decided to read the first book before I watched the last episode, and I did, and I really liked the book. and now I want to read The Grey Hunt. These ones I will do on audio because I love Michael Kramer and Kate Rainey. I love them. I love the way they narrate books. And so this will definitely just be something that while I do my bullet journal spreads, while I drive, while I do my chores, my tasks, everything, I'm going to be listening to The Grey Hunt. I'm so excited to follow these characters and see what happens. I know I've heard so many negative / mixed things about this series, but I am at the moment excited to continue on. So I'm going to take advantage of that desire, that mood, and just keep on reading in The Wheel of Time. So that is the last book I hope to get to in the month of January. Quite ambitious. We'll see. I'm honestly these are like more like pile of possibilities, except for the ones that I showed you. So that is going to be it. Pray for me. Like I said, none of these are pressure except for the ones that I have committed to, which is only 3 books technically. So those 3 books I should be able to get to, no problem. And then the others are just like a bonus. If I get to them, great. If I don't, I don't. It's not a big deal. So there you go for the first TBR of the year. I am so excited. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these and what you've thought of them. If you want to buddy read any of them, let me know. I don't know when I will read what, but if there's something you're like, hey, I would like to read that as well, let's read it together, let me know. And let me know what you are planning on reading in this month. What is like the book you're most excited to get to? For me, there's a few of them. As you saw, I'm excited for a lot of these. I will say I think Tower of Dawn is one because I've been meaning to get to that series for so long, but then I'm excited for all of these. Honestly, I'm super excited for this reading month. I have been reset, as Abby said, because in December I really didn't feel like reading a lot. I read 8 books, which is still a lot, but I didn't feel like reading. I haven't read in like almost a week, and now I feel ready to go. I feel ready to tackle this reading year, and I'm just super excited. So that is going to be it for me today. If you just want to let me know that you were here, you can leave a snowflake emoji in the comments, and I will see you soon with another video. And until then, happy reading. Bye guys.